Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this week's project. This you see before me is a dog hole work surface. It's on a mobile tool workbench, and I want to thank Armour for giving me the inspiration for doing something like this. I definitely modeled it after theirs. This project is going to be pretty special as well because this project is not for me. It is a gift for someone pretty special in my life, and you got to watch to see how I put this together and for who it's for at the end. So thanks for joining me. Appreciate you being here. Let's get right into it. So we're going to start this project off by taking a piece of black laminate plywood, put it on the CNC machine, and we're going to cut dog holes every 3 inches on both X and Y axis. You can see here it's making pretty quick work, and the beauty of having one of these Penguin CNC machines is that you could set it and work on something else. One of the great things about robots doing work for you is that you don't have to stop working yourself. So while this thing was still being cut, I was disassembling an old router table I just didn't use anymore. I typically like to hand route and don't typically do things on a router table, so this was the perfect opportunity to make this and turn this thing into a usable workbench. You can see here I've got another sheet of 3/4 inch material on here. I'm gonna cut dog holes in that. Doubling these pieces up gives you the best hold. You don't want 3/4 inch dog holes. Typically, you want about 1.5 inches. Now off to the table saw, we're gonna cut down some panels. These are gonna go underneath the work table. You're gonna see here, just gonna get a real nice compression fit. Take a rubber mallet, slap it in place. No hardware needed on this one. But the bottom one is a little different story. I've got some casters to deal with now. Do I take the casters out or do I just try to do something and try to make it fit? You're gonna witness a few failed attempts. That's one. We're gonna trim it back here. And this is gonna be the second failed attempt. And yep, there's a third one as well. So the fourth time is the charm, like they say, maybe not. Either way, you're gonna see I'm gonna lay this on top of the ends of these bolts, and then I'm gonna take that same hammer and I'm gonna whack on the corners here. And what that's gonna do is gonna give me an impression. You're gonna see here, there it is. And now I'm gonna come back with a Forstner bit that is the same size diameter, if not just a little bit bigger. And we're gonna drill down about the depth of the bit. And if you've guessed what I'm doing here, this is gonna be a resting place for this panel to rest on the open ends. You got it, the open ends of those bolts. And like everything with plywood, a lot of times I like to just kind of break the edges, make it feel nice to the touch. As you see, it fits back underneath, and that's a nice fit. I thought that was a pretty good idea. What do you think? Well, after giving myself a round of applause, I guess, it's back to the CNC to check on the other panel that's being cut for the dog hole bottom. You can see some close work here of the 1/4 inch bit that I'm using from Bits and Bits. I'm gonna link them down below, as well as Vectric, the company I use to model all this stuff, and of course Penguin CNC. I've got a coupon code for Penguin CNC and for Bits and Bits as well. I'm an affiliate of both, so check them out for sure. As you see here, I've got them doubled up, and I'm gonna use a couple of these tools to kind of make sure that they're gonna line up just right. And once everything's lined up and I see it's all looking good, we're gonna tack a whole bunch of brad nails in here. Because laminate doesn't really stick to much, especially glue, I figured brad nails and a crap ton of screws is what I'm gonna use. And as you see here, this process goes pretty quickly. The screws are sticking out just a little bit. And how I did that was, well, I just kind of tacked them in place with a hammer like I was hammering in a nail, and then come back, screw everything in place, and then off to the table saw to true it all up and make this thing really nice and even. I'm gonna use my palm router with a 1/4 inch round over bit. We're gonna ease the edges on the top and the bottom. No splinters, of course not. Then with it turned upside down, it's now time to place the old router table on top of this. Make sure you don't put these dog holes on the frame. You want to be able to use the functionality of all of them. And once you get that thing lined up, it's pretty easy to use some panhead screws and a few washers to go ahead and attach this to the base, as you see here. With both pieces attached to each other, now it's time to bring it back down to the floor, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Oh, it's such a good height too. Woo! Love it. Okay, now for a few examples of what dog holes are and why you would need them. One, you can use hold fast like you saw me do there to hold a piece in place to work on. Two, you can elevate a surface like this in case you need to do something with it by putting in these like bench cookies from Rockler. And three, you can use these things called dog fences. If you want to join pieces together at a 90 degrees, that's my method of choice on that one for sure. And here it is. Here's some beauty shots of the final product. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And again, stay tuned because I'm about to reveal who it's for. You might have guessed, but if you haven't, it's going to be a pretty cool reveal. That's this project complete. I haven't yet revealed to you guys exactly what this is for, or rather, should I say, who this is for. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right. So I told you I had something for you. Happy birthday.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
So,
good Lord.
I love the one that I have, and then the fact.
That is awesome.
What do you think?
Son, I cannot believe you did this.
Of course. I didn't do it, the machine did.
But you made it.
Yeah, I made it.
That's awesome.
I figured with the new lease that you have on your shop, I figured it'd be good for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very
I
welcome.
can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
I think I can fit that in the back of my pickup today.
I think so too. I mean, now how cool was that? I mean, he loved this thing, and I can't wait for him to get in his new shop. Essentially, it's not really a new shop, but we've spent the last week putting plywood walls up. He's gotten the whole thing gutted, and this is gonna be, I think, a great addition to that space for him. And yeah, thanks for coming along the ride. I know it's a pretty simple project, and of course I did cut all these dog holes out on the CNC, but you know, you could do this by hand, just be very careful. And of course you don't need this many, but I think this many gives you a lot of flexibility. So I really appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. This was a special project for me to do for him for his birthday, and I really think he's gonna get some good use out of it. So, and I wanna know your thoughts on it. I mean, I like the height. Of course you can adjust this with removing some of those bolts. And the size of it, well, you know, I'm a little bit limited on the size of my CNC, and this is kind of the last of this laminated stuff that I had. So I went ahead and used it, and I think it turned out great. I actually think the size is pretty good. His shop is about 1 car length less than mine, and I think, you know, all things told, this is gonna be a great addition. I really love how this thing turned out. All right, that's all I got. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And again, I'll see you on the next project. And if you think I've earned your subscription, hey, by all means, click that red bell. No, not the red bell. What is it? It's a red bar, or it's a whatever it is. Hook me up. All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next project.
Design isn't just for designers.